What's up, friends of the Good Mood? This is Manni, and welcome to the new War Robots test server session this weekend, guys, with two very big new topics, okay? First of all, one of them being obviously the Trident rocket launcher, because you can see a full hangar with this. We have Tridents with Tulumbas, Tridents with pins, Tridents with Tridents, Tridents with Exodus, and just Tridents on the Bulwark. So, yeah, so that's gonna be crazy here, guys. And the other big topic, though, is going to be the resistance penetration on weapons and damage resistance on robots. There's a whole, graph that I need to show and explain to you guys. We're gonna do this in a few minutes, okay? But so far, so much ahead. These are new soft stats to weapons and robots that allow Pixonic to tweak certain things and correct also some things that are currently problematic. For example, you know that the Shocktrain is ridiculously powerful right now, incredibly dominant, and same goes for the Orkans, okay? Now, the weapons, Orkans, and Shocktrains, for example, will get a resistance penetration of low. So that means when a robot has high resistance against explosive, and the Orkan, which is here with a low resistance penetration, it will deal much less damage against a bot with high explosive resistance, like the Rhino, for example, that is very vulnerable to explosive weapons before. Now with a high explosive resistance, it can use the physical shield against energy, and explosive weapons it has a high resistance against, so now the bot is more viable against rockets like Orkans, okay? Especially since they have a low resistance pen. Now, this is something I'm gonna have a look at with you guys in detail in a few minutes, because this is tested tomorrow in Sunday's test server, and I can't be there tomorrow. Let's jump into the battle, okay, and play the rocket launcher now. And while I explain a few more things. Alright, free fall here on Dreadnought. That's pretty good. We're only testing free for all, and that's a little bit sad because the Trident launcher isn't really a free for all weapon, so it makes it hard to test the Trident this time. And you know what has changed on the Trident? The free firing mechanism and free reloading system is there now. Okay, so basically we have a system now that allows the weapon to fire freely and reload. I can just fire one rocket, see? Boop! I fire one rocket, and then I reload the next one, and then I fire 3 rockets, for example. This is something I can do, and that was not possible before, right? So this guy, I think, just jumped, so we should be able to kill him very quickly here, hopefully. Well, actually, it's not gonna be that easy, it seems. He's gonna recharge his, he's doing a really, really good job at dodging my rockets. Now I'm walking to my left. I need to get this guy so that at least I got 1 kill. So here he's coming. Alright, we got him. Whew. You see the damage output of this Trident rocket launcher is incredibly low because we are not testing a damage buff. We're only testing the new reloading system. And the problem is that in the days of dash bots, shield bots, stealth bots, and shields while walking, right? Not unlike the Fujin, which has to stand stationary. Like this thing, for example, there is literally nothing I can do against this Haichi. There is literally nothing I can do. Not even 1 point of damage. I will not even be able to touch the, scratch through the shield. Not even be able to do that. There is just no way. And with that being said, the Trident launcher needs this update. See, we just hit this thing. This is a Spectre with no HP. We're barely doing any damage whatsoever to this thing. And now he's gonna hit us with his weapon. There it is. And now the Vortex from the Haichi kills us. It's a complete free kill. There's literally nothing I could have done at all against this setup, and I was just doomed to die by default. And let's try and hit this guy here. He's reloading his weapons, it seems. Okay. Yeah. So the Trident launcher, free firing and reloading mechanism, which is pretty cool. So I'm being attacked already again. Okay, there's this guy. Now another Vortex. This dude again, okay. Then his comes, and there it is. That's the fun you will have when you run the Trident without a hopefully coming damage buff. Because you're not going to be running anything on it. It goes only on boss that are perfectly nicely balanced with very little overpowered abilities or anything like that. Yeah, so... And then incredibly low damage output on top of that. See that? I can't even kill this Spectre. I cannot even kill the Spectre with my fully loaded Trident rocket launcher. Now I got him. Jeez, takes so long. Alright, and that's why I say there needs to be like a damage buff of at least 30% coming. 30-40% for the Trident rocket launcher. I realized there used to be a problem with the Trident rocket launcher being too strong back in the days against the Rhino and such. But they're fixing this on multiple levels now, and in the days, like I said, of dash bots, jump stealth, and all-time shields, there is just no room for the Trident launcher to perform in any way anymore. Look at the ridiculous amount of damage I've just done to this Lancelot. This is... I mean, that's like nothing at all. And yeah, so there needs to be a damage buff coming as well in order to make... If you want to see the weapon being used somewhere, then yeah, damage buff is necessary. So I can kill him hopefully now. I saved my weapon firepower. Yep, I did. Nice. Good. We only got... Wait, we got 3 kills right now, right? That's not actually that bad. Let's bring out the shield. And yeah, in terms of damage resistance, we now have, for example, the shock train, the Rhino. The Rhino is a bot that is very vulnerable to any kind of damage by rockets, you know? Orkans, for example. And this will be addressed with this as well, with the Rhino getting a high explosive resistance, right? That's gonna be pretty good. Now, this guy's coming towards me. I'm activating my shield here. He's gonna get through that shield very quickly, and then he's gonna fire into my physical shield instead. So, he's got a lot more firepower than I do, but I should be able to splash him, right? Like that. And somebody else is also using the Trident on this dude. Okay. And he, of course, got the kill because he also had Tridents on it. Dang it! He was able to switch to his other second Trident and therefore get the kill. I'm waiting for my chance here to kill this robot very quickly. 1, 2, 3. Yes, okay, we got a kill. We're actually first with Tridents. I can't believe it. This is normally not working in this game. This is a very rare thing I can show you here these days, guys. Very rare. Normally you don't perform like that with a Trident launcher and even get close to being, as you know, first in any way. So, firing 3 rockets. See, we can now fire 4 rockets due to the free firing mechanism. And, we need to walk away from him because he's gonna fire things at us, which are called... Wow, you had all your weapon firepower ready? I thought you just fired in the other guy, and so you were half down, I thought. Okay. I have to walk away from him because he's got the thermite weapon. If he takes a couple of more steps, he will be now attacked by the other guy with his flux weapon. Alright, I'm trying to conserve a little bit of firepower here so that when he fires finally with his flux weapon, that I might be able to... Oh no. Okay, whew, we got it, that was close. What do we've got coming here? Oh man, there's a hovering through the air. I hit him a little bit, but I can't move away from here simply because there's this guy covering me, covering the area. Okay, I'm bringing up the shield now. You know what? I'm an idiot. I could have used my shield to block his damage. Damage output, come on. Oh, man. Not enough. Alright, let's use the Fury. The Fury with a lot of damage output on this. So, boom. Boom, that should be it. Yep, nice. So we need to walk a little bit further towards him to be able to get into range of him as well. There we go. Nice! Dude, this is crazy. We're getting kills left and right with a Trident rocket launcher. I can tell you guys, I tried to record the Trident a couple of times, and usually it does not work like that. Of course, now I'm getting super lucky here, getting some really crazy kills, which normally is not happening in the game. Maybe I can even get this guy, I don't know. Wow, I was able to. Jeez, this is so insane. The game is just so kind to me right now. Let's fire over him. Oh, over this cover here. And then just so we just depleted the rockets to this side, so we might be able to just use this one here in the meantime. Boom. And then against these time. See, now you can fire this freely, same as Tulumbas. And that's really nice. So he's also trying to get himself into a position where he can do much better. And obviously, he's walking out of my 600 meters range. That's what he's trying to do. So now he hit me also pretty well. I think that should be it. Nice, got it. Woo! Okay. And there's a Spectre coming. I need to walk in cover quickly. Okay, we were able to do this, thankfully. But I don't think I'll be able to kill him fast enough because he's got so much firepower on this robot. Actually, you know what? If I'm a little bit lucky... Oh! I knew it! I knew it! I knew the guy with the Dragoons was there, and I knew this guy would just not pay enough attention to it. Dang it. But you know what? I got enough kills already, but unfortunately, I really killed this guy pretty much on my own there. And here comes the weakness of this Trident launcher. There is very little we can do against shielded robots. I mean, in this case, we are actually doing something, because we're having the mobility to walk around the cover here. And try to stay out of line of sight for him. But now he comes. Now the other guy comes, and there is the chance is gone. I don't want to get killed by the second placed. I'd rather get killed by the first guy. There we go. Nice. So, one more. This thing. Oh my goodness, this is so far away. In a few seconds, we're having a closer look at the damage resistance, okay? Because like I said, I can't be there tomorrow in tomorrow's test server video on Sunday. But I will be able to cover all the information now. After this match, we're going to have a close look at this, okay? So these dudes are battling each other right now. You would think that the Dragoon would win, because it can bypass the shield. But one problem that I see is that they both have energy shields. And wait a minute, this guy though has very... he has no energy shield active at the time. He has it disabled. He could activate his energy shield, though. I wonder why he's not doing that. Yeah? He could have activated his shield and blocked the shock train damage. He forgot to do this. But I also forgot to block the flux damage before. We have done 1,000,000 damage. Come on, man. This is just really bad. Because now you guys will think that the Trident is actually not needing a buff and the Trident is actually okay. But it's by far not. It is so terrible. If there's something coming with an energy shield like in Haichi, you have literally no chance against this. You may as well just go and kill yourself, because you will not even get through the energy shield, because the DPM, damage per minute, is so low on this robot, and dash bots will just dash away and make your rockets worthless that you just fired, and stealth bots, well, are stealth and you can't fire at them. So this is just super weak, and compared to Dragoon, this is even weak than compared to Zeus. And Zeus is a joke compared to Dragoon, so showing you a couple of information here, okay, on this. But let's cover and show you guys the damage resistance chart. And that's a very, very big topic, because like I said, this is new soft stats in the game that allow Pixonic to change the certain balancing aspects without actually having to go and change the stats and weapons themselves, okay? So people, for example, who purchased Shocktrains, who will, if you would make the Shocktrain half as strong suddenly, then those people would probably say, hey man, that's not okay, I just got this weapon and now it's weaker. Now with the soft stats, they still have the ability to adjust and balance without really going into crazy nerfs. So, like I said, Shocktrain being an incredibly big problem right now in the high-end Champions League on Shocktrain, on Spectres, for example, on Bulgazaris. Now, the Shocktrain will get a resistance penetration of low. So, when a robot has a high resistance against energy, for example, the Natasha. The Natasha will have a high resistance against energy-based weapons. It's a very slow robot, so it's going to be really, really easily and quick taken out by energy weapons with Tyrants or whatever. And now with a high energy resistance, it can take a couple of, probably maybe twice as many shots from the Shocktrain as it could take before, right? So the Shocktrain, because it has no resistance penetration, will not penetrate the resistance on the Natasha and therefore deal much less damage against this very robot right here. However, a robot like the Leo has low resistance against energy weapons, so the Leo will still take pretty much next to the full damage on against energy weapons and Shocktrain then, right? On Tyrants and whatnot. However, the Leo has a high resistance against explosive weapons, so a jumping robot with Orkans will maybe not be able to one-clip the Leo anymore afterwards, because the Leo just has, too much effective health against that very type of weapon damage. Alright, so that's gonna change a few things, and I think when I took a look at this, the older robots, Destrier, Kazakh, Schütze, Gepard, Vityaz, Golem, Patton, Boa, Garrett, Jesse, robots that are currently, you see them nowhere. Simply never, because they're just not viable enough anymore. These robots have been made stronger by this because they now have at least medium resistance against all types of weapons and high damage resistance against some of them, like the Gepard against kinetic, or like the Boa against explosive with a lot of health, right? So that will make these robots much better, while robots that are currently super powerful, like Kumiho, Haichi, Bulgazari, Inquisitor, well, Inquisitor actually keeps good resistance as medium, high, medium, because it's a heavy robot. See that? Heavy robots will actually get resistances now that will try and help to make heavy robots heavy again. Right now they're just taken out in one clip by a medium robot or even sometimes light robots, and with this they can make heavy robots heavy again, okay? So that's pretty cool. The Pursuer, for example, has as a light robot is interesting though. It has medium, medium, high. The Pursuer will have really good resistances against all types of weapons and very high resistances against energy weapons. So in terms of the Pursuer, I think it might be a problem because it's already so good, right? The Pursuer does not need any kind of buff whatsoever, in my opinion. And the Bulwark, however, needs high resistances against everything because the Bulwark is a real death, slow fortress. And as a slow fortress, well, you need to be like a bunker. And if you're not, then you're worthless. And this is why the Bulwark will get this. In terms of the Bulwark, great job. I think that's a good choice. The Falcon has high, high, high. We already know the Falcon. It has a 66% damage resistance against every type of weapon damage. And my question is, and that's something we can only see tomorrow in the test server, or I'm also gonna add the answer to the video description, to the pinned comment, and to the video description once I got it, how high the resistance stats are now, because Falcon had 66% against all types of weapons before. Imagine it will now keep this because it has high, high, high. Imagine every high means 66%, every medium means 50%, and every low means 33% damage resistance. While on the other side, every low weapon, resistance penetration means 33% weapon penetration at least. So making even, right? Somebody with a low resistance with a weapon that has low damage, penetration, resistance pen would be 0-0 and the same as before. But if something has a high damage resistance and a weapon with low damage penetration, resistance penetration hits it, that will probably mean you still do a good amount of damage, but reduced than before, right? So this is the stats here on this, and if we zoom in a little bit, then you can pause this. Let me go away here for a second here, so you can pause the screen and have a look at the chart yourself, okay? This is the one part, and this is the upper part. Alright, hopefully that will help you pause the video and just have a look in timely manner for your, just check it out for yourselves. This is what is being tested, a really, really crazy thing, and in my opinion, it has a lot of positive potential. It can be used in the wrong way too, to make robots that are currently already powerful, even more powerful. In terms of the, I think the Pursuer would be one of those issues, in my opinion. In terms of the Mercury, I find it really good that it gets good resistance, because the Mercury is a really, really, really bummed robot right now, and using its ability to kill itself pretty much in melee mode. The Spectre gets low, low, medium. See, the Spectre gets one of the worst resistances ever, because the Spectre is, well, it's a Spectre and it's already way too powerful. So Pixonic recognized that and saw that we need to change something here. So the Spectre gets low resistance against energy, low resistance against explosive, and only medium against kinetic, which is, punishers, cannons, and all that. So the Spectre will still be a super quick kill, and that's gonna be a good thing. I imagine the Spectre would somewhere have a high resistance against anything. That would be horrible. And So yeah, Bulgazari has low explosive resistance, and that is really good because you need the explosive damage to deal with a Bulgazari. And that shows me that Pixonic has really sat down here and brainstormed very long before making this stat. This did not come out of nowhere. This really was a process that has been long thought through, and I think the Bulgazari proves this. They have realized that the only way to deal with a Bulgazari is explosive. If they would make the Bulgazari that is already overpowered, if they would give this robot a good resistance against explosive weapon damage, then pretty much you wouldn't have anything left to deal with this robot. And the fact that this says low right here shows me that they have really put some heavy thought into this and made it a good choice. Also, energy resistance low on the Haichi. Remember, the Haichi has an energy shield, and the Haichi has a lot of health. So the only way really to deal with it effectively was energy weapons, so it gets low on that. It even has low on explosive and low on kinetic. Kinetic isn't really a thing because the Haichi has this weird hitbox where projectile weapons do very little damage anyway. So by the hitbox itself, it already has a high resistance against kinetic weapons. So having low here is still medium in general. But explosive weapons, for example, it's also good that it has low because remember, the energy shield is already built in. And the energy is already making high resistance against explosive. So making here an explosive resistance on top of that would once again be complete overkill, because then it would have two types of heavy resistances against explosive weapons. So you see, this is a very complex thing, and I can't make a short video explaining this in a very short amount of time. So excuse me for making this video so long, but I want to cover it so that I feel like you guys understand the what it means. Here we have robots that are, a little bit older robots. You see, they divided them. Super old beginner robots with great resistances. Older robots that are currently really outdated in the game with super awesome resistances. The Rhino with high resistance against explosive. Oh my god, is that awesome. Finally, the Rhino will be seen again, maybe, if this is a 66% damage resistance, and finally the Rhino can use his shield against energy, has even medium resistance against energy, and then you have the resistance against explosive weapons. That is really great. Awesome stuff. Then low resistance on energy for the Fujin, so the Fujin will still be a 2-hit kill for Shocktrains or Taran salvos. Explosive resistance is high, and that makes me wonder a little bit because once again, here's the same problem. The shield is already against explosive, and now you give it a high resistance against explosive too, so this robot will pretty much be next to immune to rockets, okay? Which is kind of good. The Fujin needs some kind of immunity against something, but however, with its low HP, I would have liked to see it have a little bit, at least medium resistance against energy weapon right there. Raijin will have high resistance against energy, medium explosive, and low kinetic. Overall, still good. Look at the Galahad here. A medium, high. That is really good. So after you finally took down the shield on that Galahad, you still have a high resistance against energy on it, and even medium against projectiles. So this will once again help these robots to come a little bit back into the game. And yeah, that's really nice. Wayland, high. Wow. That's crazy. Mender, medium. Alright, so yeah, and that's the resistance on the robots, and like I said, resistance penetration covers the counter side to this. Weapons like trebuchets and Tempest, so sniping weapons in general, Nashorn, Arbalest, Noricums, Molots, they have high resistance penetration, while weapons like medium range, Tulumbas, Pin, Spirals, Punishers and such with 500-600 meters have only medium, and the brawling weapons have altogether pretty much low damage resistance penetration, so they will suffer most from the damage resistance on the enemy robots, right? But I think before the video gets to be a half an hour or something, which we're already going towards, I'm gonna probably end this video right here. I hope I cleared this up really well, because in my opinion that is so complex, it needed a good amount of time to make this clear. And tomorrow, like I said, Sunday is gonna be the big test server testing this. I can't be there tomorrow, I can't have a look at this, but we will see basically what we have just tested here. And I will assume that we will see a lot of rhinos running around being tested because they finally have something going. I would run the rhino, for example, and I hope that some other YouTubers out there are running the rhino to see how well it will run, so I can have a look at this myself. And yeah, so sorry for the super long video, and at least we had a really good Trident rocket launcher test here. And in my opinion, really, please reinforce the damage output on the Trident launcher. The DPM, the big problem I have is that the Exodus does almost the same amount of damage. Look, a Trident rocket has 4,400 HP. An Exodus rocket has only a 1,000 less. And there's, how 20, 30 rockets in this thing firing at once. Of course, it's a brawling weapon and should deal more damage. But that should mean that doesn't mean that the Trident is completely worthless on the other side. It needs more damage. I think at level 8, it needs around 7,000 damage already. At level 8. To be able to even have slight chances in this game. And so, yeah, just my opinion on how much we need to boost the Trident to even see it anywhere against dash, jump, and shield, and stealth, and dash, shield. Did I just say it twice? I don't know. Against all these types of robots that actually make the weapon worthless, we need it. Alright, so yeah. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, leave a like and comment down below. And if you haven't already, hit subscribe, as brutal as a man can hit for more. Thanks for bearing with me. You guys are awesome as always. Manni-Gaming signing off. Bye-bye.